real quickly, just defensive rebounding tonight, struggled with that. Finishing the possession, though we did in the second half especially, a very good job of putting them in positions to take tough shots and just securing the basketball at the end of the possession. Porter Jr. with 5, Jokic with 7. Gordon was active on the boards as well. And then their second unit, when those guys came in, their perimeter guys crashing. So making sure we do a good job with the rebounding. Transition defense, 10 turnovers in the first half. A number of live ball ones in the first quarter. Helped them get out in transition for the 21 fast break points. It was tough for us, but I thought overall the guys battled and played really hard. Finished the game trying to cut into that lead, kept battling, made Denver take a couple timeouts, but couldn't quite finish in the end. So,
we know what Luka can do in the first half. Is there anything that you saw that contributed to the turnovers? Anything Denver was doing? Anything about you guys?
I thought they were trying to be active in terms of swarming the paint, and then our spacing at times, put us in a tough position there. But in general, I think as things got cleaned up and Luka got a rhythm for how they were playing them, it ended up improving as the game went on.
You guys have rebounded pretty well this year. I think you out-rebounded at least two or three of your opponents. Why do you think you weren't able to do as well tonight? Was it Denver's personnel, or maybe boxing out?
Yeah, I think it's a confluence of circumstances there, Brad. There's a number of guys that they have who crash. Their positioning offensively puts guys in and around the rim a lot. They have a number of guys that also chase their own misses. So, it's a blockout game, it's a rebounding game, and then when teams take those tough intermediate paint shots, oftentimes on the perimeter you have to make a real point to come in and help rebound the basketball instead of watching one of your teammates play one-on-one versus a bigger guy down there. So it's that kind of gang rebounding mentality on shots that are kind of in that long paint 2 or mid-range area.
How much of a crusher was that start? You go down so far.
Yeah, digging yourself out of a hole for the 40 points you give up in the first quarter. And I think the guys did a great job of trying to fight and compete. I thought Kyrie and Luka and their actions together in the second half did a great job of playing well together. And offensively got it going there, but when you push yourself down that much early on, as we know, it's tough to overcome that, especially against guys like this who are a great team and well coached.
What you think of you got a little juice there from Josh and Jaden off the bench there, third? I don't know if it's third or the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I thought those guys at the end of the third did a great job providing energy and effort, and then really trying to compete on both ends. And that gave us a boost, as you said there. And then just, as those guys both do a good job of trying to get up the floor offensively to help us play with great pace. And I thought as our pace improved, we saw some improvement offensively as well.
What do you think Lively may have learned tonight? It's obviously a step up in competition.
I think he learned what it's like to play at altitude. He learned each day, Brad, he's learned, and I think nothing changes for him. So tonight, going against guys like Jokic or Gordon or various players offensively that are great in pick and rolls, and then on the other end, understanding how their coverages are to where he needs to be on the floor. So he's going to learn each and every day and each and every game. Denver did a good job of trying to be aggressive with their pick and roll coverages at times, so providing an outlet, understanding the nuances of those screening actions. I think is something that he learned tonight. But overall, he's each day going to learn, and for a guy like that who has such an incredible work ethic and a desire to improve, you can't skip steps. Sometimes you can take him a little bit faster, but at the end of the day, he's got to take each step one by one. And it's like anything else. You take the test, you study for it, you prepare, you take the test, you get graded on it, you make your corrections, and then you get ready to go in the next one. That's all you can do. We have games come fast, and for a guy like that, it's a great learning experience. And now you got to understand what took place, build on the good, minimize some of the mistakes, and then keep going.
Would you say rebounding could also be added to that list for Lively of things he learned, or things, just that there's a skill, that there's almost a dark arts, when you watch Jokic and his ability to kind of tip the ball and snare stuff that you wouldn't expect him to?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I think he's going to be an exceptional rebounder just in general. But understanding that these guys that are physical and strong, and when you go to grab the ball, they don't just let you grab it. You know, they're fighting for it, they're hitting and trying to get, you know, their hands on things. And so those 50-50 balls, you know, the tenacity that you need, the intensity that you need, you know, combined with the physicality that you need against these big, strong guys, something that every player, especially young players, has to learn and work through and then build upon.
Kyrie didn't seem like he was hindered at all. What do you think of his return, and did he come out of it okay?
Yeah, I think came out very well. I thought he, you know, as we talked about being down when he came back in the game, tried to really pick that pace up and be aggressive. I thought that was much needed, and then I thought the second half, you know, the way he and Luka played together was great. I think just in general, the calmness that he had throughout the game is always something that, you know, you can lean on. You know, he's been through a lot of situations and played in a ton of games, a ton of big games. So I thought he looked good and did a good job being aggressive and trying to help us, you know, throughout the course of the night.
The defense started out with Grant Williams on Jokic and mixed it up throughout the game. What did you think worked at times, and what do you think didn't work?
Well, I mean, Jokic was 14 of 16, so he had a pretty good night. I think, you know, at times I thought we did a good job of protecting the paint, protecting each other. You know, they started off 6 for 7 from 3, and I think, you know, some of them were good looks that we could have taken away. But once we took care of that, you know, then it was just, as much as anything, it was the multiple effort rebounding game and just taking care of the transition. You know, when we got them in the half court, I thought we were much more effective defensively. And I thought, you know, guys battled, and, you know, there's stuff to look at and study and improve upon just like anything else.
Appreciate it. What do you think attributed to the slow start, 40-24 after the first quarter?
Yeah, we started slow, but you know, I think there's a lot of positive things to look at. I think what lost us the game is my turnovers and offensive rhythm. But I think if this was last year, we lost by 30. So I think there's a lot of positive things to look at, and we can all learn from that.
You mentioned your turnovers. A couple of them, you know, was a drop pass, and one of them I thought was a kick ball. But why do you think your turnover count was pretty high? What do you think led to that?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just sloppiness with the ball, I think. Just trying to make the passes, you know, as they were up in the pick and roll. But it wasn't, a lot of them, there wasn't good decisions. So I just got to look into it, got to watch film, and got to get way better at turnovers. You know, I think I started the season very low on turnovers, so been kind of sloppy with the ball last couple of games. So for sure that got to get better for me.
Luka, I saw you joking with Nicola a bunch of times on the court before the game, all of that. What's your guys' relationship like?
I mean, it's great. It's always fun with him. Of course, he's an amazing basketball player, but he's a great guy. That's what I love the most about him. Just always joking around. He's just a simple and very amazing guy.
Do you think that with the finals, the playoffs, the MVPs, all that stuff, do you feel like everybody who watches the NBA is starting to appreciate how amazing a player he is and recognizing how special he is?
Well, I think everybody knew him before. Maybe not because he's not really on the media stuff a lot. But all the players, all the coaches know how special he is. Everybody knows how special he is. So, like I say, I think everybody knows what kind of player he is. And he's right now probably the best basketball player in the world.
Hey, Luka.
Sorry, go ahead.
Luka, Coach Malone was saying before the game that you live for big moments. It's part of your DNA. How did you develop that? I mean, have you always been that since you were a little kid? Just the bigger the moments, it doesn't faze you?
I don't really know, but I just like playing basketball. There's always the big moments are the most important. You're not always going to be on your A game, but it's just you get something going in me. I don't know what. I don't know when it happened. I don't know why. So, just gets going.
What did you think of the court and all the other stuff with the in-season tournament stuff going on.
I don't know about the court, man. Just because the court is the same car as the out of bounds line, so that's the weird part. So it's gonna get time to get used to it for sure.
Do you have an opinion on, it's been tough to get sledding. You guys have played one home, one away, one home, one away, just back and forth. Has it been tough to get a rhythm as a team when you have a schedule like that?
I mean, yeah, the one game home, one game away is, I think for me, is the worst part, but that's the NBA. We can't complain about it. Some people have better schedules, some people have worse, so we can't complain about it. We all play the same game, so can't complain.
It seemed like you guys had the chance to grab a lot of rebounds, and they were taking it away from you. Just is that were they more physical than you? Was that something that you feel that you guys probably need to have more emphasis on than I know you've attempted to so far?
Yeah, I mean, I really think sometimes we gotta go a little bit bigger lineup, especially with Jokic and Gordon in there, Porter's tall guys, so they really have a lot of people that can get offensive rebounds, but just gotta box out, man. We gotta play physical. Sometimes they're allowed to play physical. They allow them to play physical, so every time we tried to box out, it was a foul.
In the second half, it seemed like the offense started to have a lot of success when you and Kyrie were in two-man actions. What did you see in those situations?
Yeah, I think all the offense comes from defense, I actually think we played good defense today. But then, like I said, the turnovers and the offensive rebound cost us the game. But I think from our defense, we play better to our offense. I don't think offense was never a problem. It barely is. It's our defense. We got to get better.
Luka, just on Nikola again, you were saying how much you enjoy just joking with him and how fun of a person he is. When you guys are hanging out, do you guys even talk about basketball?
Barely. I think me and him both, we didn't talk much about basketball, so it's barely talking about basketball.
What do you guys, are you guys just BSing? Are you guys just messing with each other?
We talk about other stuff, it's just, it's not really basketball a lot. Sometimes it is, but not much.
A little rusty to begin the game. We're in Denver, mile above sea level, so I knew it was going to be interesting tonight. Just going against a well-oiled machine. The champions of the league, and they showed their grit and their intensity and a lot of effort plays tonight. And I think we can take this kind of butt whooping that we took in the first half and really learn some things. We had a good second half or last three quarters, and we could take some of the positives, but a lot of it was just effort plays and position plays that we can improve on. And I think it's good that we fix it early in the season so it can help us later down the line. But it was a good experience.
What did you like about the last three quarters?
We just locked in, we settled in. It was a high intense game. We knew that Denver was going to give us the first punch of the game, and usually we can withstand that. But tonight, when you give up 40 points to a championship level team or the champions, they're going to make you pay. And they did that for the rest of the night. They were playing well off the ball, being very patient. And anytime you go up 16 after the first quarter, you pretty much got to just level set and use the clock against the other team, and I felt like they did that often. But we made our runs. There were some positives to take out of it, but again, there's some things that we got to fix moving forward.
You guys have been a pretty good rebounding team the first 4 games. Is that what happened tonight?
We went small a few times, and they took advantage. And then, again, just long rebounds off of those threes that they take. They take a lot of random threes in transition, a lot of threes in the half court, and those long rebounds kind of killed us tonight. And the focus level for us moving forward has just got to be better, and we just got to hold each other accountable more when it comes down to those little things, those little details that will ultimately get us more wins. So,
is this team still learning about the pace and how to push the pace and what kind of effort it takes to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could say that. We're still building towards being a complete team. I mean, I've been out of the lineup for the last 2 games, so being able to be back out there tonight and get a feel for the first starting 5 again, and just seeing our rotations and trying not to overthink out there and play efficient basketball. I started off this season not necessarily having my legs underneath me, not playing at the conditioning level that I wanted to. So having those 2 games off really gave me a rest period that I needed, and I think it'll put me in a better position moving forward for the season.
Along with those factors you just mentioned, trying to get your feet on the ground, you guys have you ever had a schedule like this where you go home, away, like that, to start off the season with?
Semi, but not like this.
What does that do to you?
It's a test, mentally and physically. I mean, we are the best in the world, and we do have to recover and do everything possible to be at our best, but we're human at the end of the day, and emotions come in, and a little tiredness comes in, but it's a small sample size that we have of games in the beginning of the season, so we just use that to see where we can get better, and conditioning is going to be a large part of that, and how we utilize each other moving throughout the season. It's a team effort here, and we're going to need, as you saw tonight, we're going to need everybody. And obviously we didn't have our head coach tonight. I think Sweeney did a good job of filling in and doing the best that he could to get us motivated and get us prepared. And regardless of what games come in the week or how we travel, we're going to have to still show up and put our best foot forward for each other, and continue to communicate the way we have been. It's been fun basketball. It's been fun to play. It's been fun to watch at times. I don't want to watch as often, but it's been fun to be a part of these runs that we make in the games where our offense becomes our best defense. But getting stops is the best part of the game that I enjoy, where we can get out in transition and really flatten the defense and take advantage of our opportunities with our non-play calling possessions. That's the pace that I'm talking about, when we don't have to call plays. And you saw Denver tonight, they were pushing the pace, they didn't call a lot of plays. Got in the half court, we did our best job to get into their body, be physical, but again, some lessons learned.
Late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, you and Luka had more like 2-man actions together that had quite a bit of success. What did you see in those situations?
Just attacking the weaker defenders on the other team, and being able to see the defense from a flat standpoint. Catching on the ISO with a live dribble, being able to square up, see where the rotation's coming. Denver tilts a lot, where they send extra help. They use Jokic very well to basically zone up other teams and really protect him. He's a good defender, but I think at times we could have taken advantage of him being in the paint a little bit more. But again, hindsight's 20/20. We just pick ourselves up after a hard physical game, first in-season tournament game. It was high pace, high intensity, and we'll be prepared, more prepared next time.
Just quick thoughts on the court and the tournament and all
the
that
environment.
Stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a good environment. I mean, it's always tough to win in Denver, so we knew it was going to be a tough one. But seeing the court, be divided, and seeing other courts around the NBA be designed that way, I mean, it's going to take some getting used to, and I don't think experience helps any team at this point. You just got to be ready for the game itself, and go out there and make sure that you're trying to achieve the best result possible. That's a win. So that's all that matters. I've hooped everywhere. We've hooped everywhere. It's no excuse. We just got to get used to it.
Luka said it was hard to pick up the lines because of the way
Yeah, man, it's probably starting to shoot around in the way everything was set up, just blue streaks and then a regular hardwood on the middle, a regular hardwood color in the middle. Man, it's going to take some getting used to, but we don't want to make any excuses for ourselves. But I did see that they changed the three-point line. I don't know what they were doing when they were painting the lines, but we were shooting there before during shooting around, just getting used to it. But yeah, we don't want to make any excuses. We'll be better next time.
Thanks, guys.